Hi, and welcome to our Jim2 webinar on promotional pricing. A common thing I hear when I talk to customers is that they don't know what they don't know. And as such, we'll be going right back to basics for each topic to make sure that you're all fully informed of each section. At the end of each session, we'll have a Q&A in which you can type any question you like into the chat, and we'll either answer you live or get back to you with an answer after the webinar. The information part of the webinar will also be uploaded to our website, so you can rewatch if you wanted to go over something again. Or you can let us know, let someone know that's not on today, so they can see the info also. And finally, before we get into the webinar, there is a new Q&A feature that you can find at the top of the screen. We'll check on the normal chat as well, but if you wanted to ask a question for the Q&A to be answered at the end of the webinar, please use the Q&A section. So let's start on today's topic, Jim2 and promotional pricing. Promotional pricing is a fantastic way for you to hold periodic specials, highlight the best products, or just help some stock move that hasn't gone as quickly as you would have liked. Using Jim2's powerful ability to track costs associated with your stock, you can set a minimum sale price on stock to ensure that you don't sell for below your cost. Promotions can be limited to a single project or to only particular customers. It's also possible to offer a special price to your trade customers while keeping other customers out of the sale. Find out more about how you can attract more business to your business. Before we talk about the promotional pricing section though, I want to first talk about how we can set up a minimum sales price. By doing this, we can ensure that you restrict the ability to sell something for below its stated price. It's a great safeguard for your business to use in any setting. To set this up, first we go to the stock code. And in the price level section, we can add an entry called minimum sale price. By doing this, we can ensure that you restrict the ability to sell something for below its stated price. It will check the cost of goods with a markup, in this case, 10%, and it then compares it to the price you're about to sell it for. If the cost of goods plus markup is a higher price than what you have set on your job, it will either pop a warning or actually refuse to complete the sale, depending on how you have the security set up. It's really handy to make sure that you always make at least some margin on your products. If we go to Tools and Security, look in the Jobs section and scroll down to Stock on Jobs, we can then find a setting named Allow to Sell Stock for Less than Minimum Price. This is ticked by default, which means that when a user attempts to sell a piece of stock for below the stated price, Jim2 will pop a warning stating that the price is lower than the set minimum. If it is unticked, the user will get the same message, but it will not allow the sale to continue. As an example, I have this set up on the chocolate biscuits item, so let's try and sell one. Let's try and sell one for 1 cent. As you can see, the warning tells us the minimum price for this stock and gives us the option to either continue by pressing yes or change the price to the minimum by pressing no. We can apply this en masse as well to a list. Depending on how you set your pricing, this may be a bit easier or a bit harder to implement. If you're already using pricing templates, it's very easy. But if you're not using price templates, you should maybe run a test on just a few items at first to ensure that your current pricing will not be affected by adding the minimum sales price. If we go to Tools, Setups, and in the Stock section, we can find Price Templates. We can create a template or edit an existing one to include the minimum sales price. If we're editing an existing template, we can add minimum sales price, and when we hit save, it will update each piece of stock that is using that template currently. And if you're not currently using templates, we can add a new one. Well, I've already got one that name, which is absolutely fine. But now we can go to a list, we can right click and select Apply Price Template to All. Simply select the pricing template that you'd like to use, and it will apply to everything in the list. I will warn at this point that doing anything en masse carries a risk. And by that I mean, if you make a mistake on one item, it's really easy to fix. But if you make a mistake on a large number of items, it becomes a lot harder. So if you're unsure about this process but would like to perform it, you should contact our support team for assistance. Now, with the safeguard out of the way, let's take a look at the promotional pricing feature itself. If we go to Stock and then Promotional Pricing, we'll have a new window appear that can show us a list of all current and past promotional pricing campaigns. By keeping a history of the promotions, we have good record keeping, as well as the ability to recreate a previous campaign more easily. By default, however, today's date will be set against the list, so we'll only see current promotions. To see all active promotions, we can delete the date and push Run. Actually, this list is quite a handy one. You can find what promotions are active and what others are planned for the future. We can even find promotions that particular stock has been included in and more. As with all lists in Jim2, the top section contains the fields that we can filter the list on. We can find a particular promotion if we know its ID number, and we can look using keywords in a promotion's description or notes in the fields under. This can be pretty useful for finding seasonal promotions, say for Christmas or Easter. We can enter a stock code to find any promotions that contain that stock, or we can add a stock group to find any promotions that have stock in that group. We can find the promotion that's been used that's set between a set of dates and search for a promotion available to a particular customer or vendor. We can look for a specific promotion if we are aware of our reference number, and we can find a promotion based on the currency it was intended for. I did skip over one field there, the type field. This one needs a little more explanation, so I wanted to treat it a little differently. A promotion type is one of the building blocks of your promotional pricing. It lets you choose who is going to be able to access the promotion. If we go through the list, everyone, as it implies, will give all of your customers the opportunity to receive the pricing set on the promotion. This is great for our retail customers or customers with a retail component, as it means that any one of your customers can access the promotion. We can choose to offer the promotion to only particular customers. This is often used when we're creating a bid or when we're pricing a contract. You can also use this as a de facto pricing level for a client or set of clients, but I would warn that it's a bit harder to maintain as a pricing level tool. Card file group, as the name states, you can select a group of card files and have only the customers that are included in that group able to access the special. This can be used for customers that are part of a particular industry or even region, depending on how you have your group set. A price level promotion is one that's based on price levels and will be available to any customer that is on that price level. You may decide to offer a special to only your retail customers, as you're already giving great discounts to your trade customers. And project. This is where Jim gets really clever. You can specify individual projects to offer the promotion to. By using this feature, you can create pricing for a specific piece of work that is not available anywhere else. Particularly useful when you're pricing a job that you're bidding for without having the pricing available company-wide. So we have a bit to cover in terms of how promotions affect pricing, and we can't really take a look at them without starting with the promotion. So let's make one now. We can start by clicking Add on the promotional pricing list screen. So the first decision we have to make is who is going to receive the promotion. And by that, I mean choosing the right promotion type for the promotion. To make things easy, we'll set this to everyone. We can add test promo to the description and notes. Whoops. Okay, our next decision will be when the promotion will run from and to. Let's set up a spring sale running from the start of September to the end of November. We can set a time that the special will kick in, but I don't think that we need to get that specific. We'll leave those blank for the moment. And on the right-hand side, we have some more fields. Active speaks for itself, and we'll come back to promo break a little bit later. We can enter a reference for the promotion though, in case we need to find it easily later on. I'll call this Spring 22. Here we can set a currency if we're using multi-currency, and we can choose whether the figures we enter include tax or not. This can be important if dealing with overseas markets. We can limit the stock to only a particular vendor or even particular attributes of stock. I don't think we'll limit these at the moment, but just know that they're there if you need them. And now we'll add some stock to the grid. There are a couple columns I'll call out in this grid. The first column is Quantity Plus. This column will allow you to set quantity breaks with different levels of pricing. If we leave it at 0, all items will be sold at the rate that we state, but we can add more lines to create price breaks. It's important to know that if you put a 10 in this column, it will use the price you set for any sales of the stock with a quantity of 10 or more. For example, if I add another line of chocolate biscuits, we can make the first line 0 or 1, and the second line a 10. This means that if someone buys 9 chocolate biscuits, they'll use the price we set on line 1. And if they buy 10 or more, they'll use the price we set on line 2. So let's talk pricing. The list price column will show as either including or excluding tax, depending on how you have the tax total set up. This figure will draw directly from the list price on the stock code, and we can go to the stock code from here by right-clicking and selecting View. can find the list price right here. In fact, it's a good idea to check the stock code before setting the price on a promotion, so you can get information about how you're buying the stock and how much you normally sell it for. Looks like list price here is normally $1, and if we check how we're buying it, we're normally buying it for 30 cents. Going back to the promotional pricing screen, I'll set two prices. If you buy up to 9, you'll get a discount price of 80 cents. And if you buy 10 or more, you can get them for 50 cents. Finally, there are two more columns, one for the purchase order vendor and one for purchase order cost. The PO vendor column will specify that you should only use that price if the stock has come from that vendor. We'll talk about a practical use of this towards the end of the webinar that I think you'll really enjoy. There are some additional columns if you're using commissions, but that gets a little bit more complicated. Essentially, it will allow you to work out commissions based on existing commission structures, but with the discounted prices on the promotion. If you'd like to know more, please give our support team a call. Outside of that, if you press save, you've now completed setting up a promotion. Now, some of you may have spotted the import button towards the bottom of the window. As you may have guessed, you can import stock into a promotion, making it even easier to set up. By clicking import, we can see that we have a few options of how we can import. Starting from the top, we have quote. This is referring to an existing quote in Jim2. It can be really handy if you have already created a quote and would like to offer the lower price if accepted within a certain period of time. Next is from a stock list. You can create a list of stock in Jim2 and have that port straight into the promotion. Of course, there are a myriad ways that this can be used, but I find it's most useful when setting up a promotion for stock that has not been sold in a while. I'll show you how you can achieve that towards the end of the webinar. And of course, we have the ability to import via a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet can be from your terminal, or you could have it as a document available in Jim2. To use a document on your terminal, you can click the three dots at the end of the field to open the Explorer window that will help you find your document. To use the document that already exists in Jim2, we can click the Documents tab and then attach a spreadsheet using either the Link Existing or Add New button. And then when we look at the options to import from, we'll find it in the drop-down. The ability to import via a spreadsheet in this area is actually quite advanced. You do not need a template to use for the import. Instead, we've developed this area to be able to take on whatever is in your spreadsheet and then map that information into the fields available in Jim2. I have an example sheet here, so let's see what happens when I import it. So now we can see the mapping screen. At the middle in the top, we have the mapping fields, and we can see the sheet that we're importing from in the main section below. What we want to do is connect the columns of the spreadsheet so that the information that's available relates to the correct field in Jim2. We have the Jim2 fields on the left, so we only need to add the column letter to the right. Now, this example is very clear because the sheet is built for purpose, but you should be aware that you can enter any information from any sheet. It doesn't need to be in order like this one is. So long as the information is in the sheet, you can import it. At a minimum, you will need to have the stock code of the item you'd like to include, as well as the price you'd like to sell it for. In the top left is a feature that makes the process even easier again. The first time you receive a spreadsheet to import, you will have to set the columns to the fields. This process is called mapping. But if you're receiving spreadsheets from, say, a supplier that's set out in the same way each time, you can save the mapping in this area. By doing this, next time you get a spreadsheet from the same source, you can simply select the mapping from the dropdown. All you need to do is enter a name and push Save. To demonstrate, I can actually close this window, and then when I select the sheet to import again, instead of entering the columns, we can simply select one of the drop-downs. So if we press Load from Sheet, we can see what happens. In the bottom section, we'll see a list of information that's going to be imported. Looks like we've got an error in the top right. This is because I unchecked a checkbox that states the top line is a header row. If I click back and then click the checkbox that says top line is a header row, we can remove the issue. There we go, no more errors. If we get an error, we can try and click back and fix whatever's wrong, or open the sheet and address the issue, or we can simply make a note of what the issue or issues are and then press Import. I will remove this item because I don't need it for my examples, but as you can see, it imported. Now, I mentioned that we'd come back to promo break. Promo breaks, to put as simply as possible, work in the following manner. If you have multiple promotions running at the same time, a promo break will help decide that this one promotion should take precedence over another. There is a lot of complicated ordering and hierarchy which goes into which promotion will overtake another promotion. And there are a great set of articles that are on our help file that do a great job explaining this. I'll link those at the end of the webinar in case you want to look over them. In most cases though, the order of calculations for a price won't really matter. But if you find a price attached to a job from a promotion and want to work out why one got applied over a different promotion, it can usually be explained by the order of pricing. Actually, how can we find which promotion is affecting the price on a job? Let's make a job and find out more. Again, we'll sell something to our good friend Blonky. First of all, you should know that the colors that Jim2 presents in the pricing cell is kind of a code. Each color of that pricing cell can change to will tell you how the price has been affected. You don't need to memorize all the colors, however, because if you see a color, you can hover your mouse on the price and it will tell you why it's changed to that color. In this case, because it's affected by a promotion. If we right-click on the line, we can see a couple of entries in the menu. One is Choose Promotional Pricing, and just below it, you'll see which promotion is currently affecting the price. Clicking on the promotion will take us to the promotion, and if we click Choose Promotional Pricing, it'll take us to a new window that will show us the available promotions should you want to change it. In addition, if we click the Promotional Pricing tab at the bottom of the screen at the far right of the tabs, we can see the available promotions as well. By default, you can see the active promotions. We can change the drop down to the top to see each line in the promotion, and we can choose to see only the parts of the promotion that are affecting the stock on the job. We can also double click these lines to go to the promotion too. Now, to finish the webinar, I'd like to show you some practical applications for promotional pricing. Besides creating a normal sale where you've selected items at a reduced price, what else can we use this for? There are three examples I'd like to walk you through that are common scenarios that many of our customers can experience. They are adding slow moving stock to a promotion, keeping the pricing of a tender the same over a period of time, and how to set only stock from a particular vendor to be included. We'll start with slow moving stock. To do this, we'll make a new list, click Advanced, and then using the fields that are new to version 4.4, change the drop-down to Date Not Sold. We'll then add a date range, I'll say this year. And then when we press Run, we can see all of the stock that we've not sold one of this year. From here, we simply take a note of the list name, and then when we create a promotion, we can import from a stock list to have all of those items appear. From here, we'd only need to set the pricing that we need to for the lines, and that's it. Hit save, and we have a promotion outside of the header information, of course. Okay, so let's say that you want to lock a set of pricing in for a particular customer over a period of time. This is commonly used when you have a bid accepted for a tender, and you need to make sure the prices of particular stock don't change over the period of the contract. Well, again, that's quite easy to set up. You can hit Add. We can import from, say, a quote. I'd prepared one earlier. We can also set the type to card file and then enter the card file of the customer that is to receive the special pricing. Enter the date that the pricing will be valid from and till. And there we go. Oh, actually, we'll also tick promo break to ensure that this promotion is preferred over other promotions. And that's it. These prices are now locked in for this customer over this period of time. But what if we have a discount from a particular vendor and we want to offer that better deal to our customers? Well, it's a little more involved, but it's also very possible. First, we'll set up a promotion. In this case, it's a supplier that we don't normally use for this stock, but they're offering a great deal this month. In this case, we're going to get a great deal on jam biscuits from Outside Business, selling for only 20 cents each. So we'll add everyone as the type, so everyone has a chance, and we'll set the date to over this month because that's when the Outside Business is offering that promotion. We'll set up a sell price of 60 cents. Okay. We've set this up, so let's add a quote. We could add to a job directly, but our customer is not quite ready to commit to buy the jam biscuits, so we'll create a quote to show that the quote can actually pick up on the promotion as well. Sale and jam biscuits. Here we have a warning because we have a minimum set on this stock. So we've got a quote. Let's turn it into a job. Well, actually, the important part is to note that the correct price has been picked up and the vendor has been picked up. We set the quote to accepted and then create a job. Our job has been created, our pricing has come through. And if we check the cost tab, we can see that the vendor outside business is still specified. That's great, but we don't actually have any jam biscuits in stock at the moment. Now, the only way that we can have the price and vendor from the promotion to the purchase order is to right click on the job and select Auto Create Purchase Orders. Outside of this, there's not any way for the purchase order to know that we have a promotion set up. So we auto create the purchase order, click Run, and it's picked up the supplier and the special price from the promotion. And that's it. Well, we sure covered a lot today. Today we covered how to set up a minimum price for stock, how to set up a promotion, using multiple promotions at once, and importing your promotion stock in various ways. As you've seen, promotional pricing can be extremely valuable part of your business. I'd recommend that you set up a promotion in your training database and explore what it can do for your business. Be sure to reach out if you do have any further questions to our support team or myself directly, of course, and we'll get your questions answered. But for today, thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.